Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the Curtlyn Warner Show. Today, I have with me my co-host, Mr. Elvis Flanders. Today, we're going to be taking a walk towards Phillipsburg, St Maarten, and we're going to be meeting with some of the business owners to get their point of view of exactly what's going on in St Maarten and how they are going through this pandemic. So, without further ado, I introduce to you my co-host, Mr. Elvis Flanders.
Thank you, Mr. Warner. And you just said it right. You know, as you said, our current situation in St Maarten needs some attention. So we are going to go through Phillipsburg and ask several businesses about their feedback on how they're going through this pandemic and what they would like to see for the current situation in St Maarten. And basically, it's just a questionnaire. We're going to ask some people, you know, different questions on how they're going through the pandemic and what would they like to foresee for the future of St Maarten, at least for the last quarter of 2020.
Well, Mr. Flanders, thank you for being on the program, and
Here
we go. Let's take it away to the first business.
Here we are once again, ladies and gentlemen, with the manager of Layback Beach Bar, Mr. Sheldon Knight, and he's going to give us a little bio of the restaurant and how it ran before we got into this pandemic. Mr. Knight?
Okay. Well, Mr. Elvis, well, at this time, well, before the pandemic, we're like crazy busy. When I tell you we're busy, we're doing maybe like 2,000 people per day, even more. Depends on how many ship is on the island. Yes. So, as what I'm telling you, you could see we have 4 ships there right now. There's no one, so you know there's no business. So at this present time, sometimes we get the locals on the weekend.
They come to give you a little support.
Right. But in the week, business are really bad. But right here, when we're doing crazy bottles. 10 cases of beers, you know, Carib. We just started out with our local beers. That was doing good also. Right now, everything is stocked up. So it's not that great at this time. Yes. But we used to do hundreds of food, drinks per day.
So as we go straight into the questionnaires, Mr. Knight, what has this pandemic taught you?
Well, at this time, this pandemic taught me so much. So much. It told me you're never to plan ahead. Never try to plan ahead. Because anything could happen. Anything could strike.
Yeah.
Right? And it taught me so much again that you have to put away something for rainy day.
Yeah.
Yes, it taught me a lot.
Okay. How would you like to see the last quarter of 2020, Mr. Knight?
I would like to see the last quarter like how it was before. Why reason of that? Look at it again. I show you once more.
Yes.
How many ships we see out there? Four big ships. Yeah. Right there at this time, that 4 ships have over 20,000 people. Now there's no people on here. Yeah. We have an empty ship parked. You know? And I wouldn't mind that the last end of this 4th quarter, it could go back to where it was. Yeah. Because right now we are really struggling. The island is really struggling. Yeah. The government section is struggling. The local business are really struggling. And the hotels everywhere is struggling at this time. Nothing is going on.
How was your experience during the lockdown, Mr. Knight?
That's one. My experience for the lockdown was like I was in prison. Really in prison. But, you know, for our safety and no more spread of the coronavirus, we implement the lockdown, and it did really.
So you think it was necessary? The
yes,
lockdown?
It is. It was. Yeah. The government make a good choice of doing it, but you know, we can't keep the country locked down.
Yes.
You understand? We just have to do the necessary, take the necessary precaution, and do what we have to do. But we can't keep the country locked down because this is what we depend on. Tourism. Yes.
Yes. Thank you very much, Mr. Knight.
No problem, sir. Thank you for coming.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we are at the Great Bay Beach, downtown Phillipsburg. And as you can see behind me, there are 4 huge ships docked in our port. Now, there are no passengers on the ship. There are just maybe a few crew that are there to maintain the ship and for refueling, of course. And at least our government gets an opportunity to, generate a little bit of revenue while they're parked there. But this would have been a very flourishing beach with thousands of tourists occupying the beach. And as you can see, it's all empty. This is what the pandemic has done to this country. Go. Here we are at the Water Plant Square Park.